Picture this. An 18-year-old girl walks into a General Motors factory to inspect fender panels and check bolts on hoods. For $2 an hour. Fast forward a few decades, and that same woman is sitting in the CEO's chair, running a $170 billion company, making decisions that shape how the entire world drives. No family fortune. No shortcuts. No golden ticket. This is the story of Mary Barra, and how she became the most powerful woman in the auto industry. Let's get into it. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we break down the real stories behind the world's biggest empires, the grit, the failures, the turning points nobody talks about. Today we're talking about Mary Barra, chairman and CEO of General Motors. She didn't inherit her empire. She built her entire career, brick by brick, inside one single company for over 4 decades. And her story teaches us 3 powerful lessons about building a legacy from the ground up. Let's break them down. Start where you are, not where you want to be. Mary Barra didn't start with a fancy MBA or a corner office. She started as a co-op student at General Motors Institute, inspecting hoods and fenders on the factory line while she was still a teenager. Most people would call that a nothing job. But Barra treated it like the beginning of something bigger. She used GM's tuition program to actually pay her way through college, studying electrical engineering, instead of waiting for a better opportunity to show up. Here's the real-world lesson. Too many people wait for the perfect starting point before they commit. Barra didn't wait. She took the job in front of her and used it as a launchpad. Think about it like Sarah Blakely, the Spanx founder, who was selling fax machines door to door before she ever touched a pair of pantyhose. Or Oprah Winfrey, who started as a local news anchor in Nashville making almost nothing. None of these people started at the top. They started where they were, and that's exactly what Mary Barra did on a GM factory floor. The takeaway? Your first job doesn't have to be your dream job. It just has to be your first step. Master every room before you lead it. Here's what makes Barra's rise genuinely different from most executives. She didn't just climb the ladder in one department. She rotated through nearly every major function at GM: plant manager, vice president of global manufacturing engineering, head of global product development, and executive vice president of global human resources. Why does that matter? Because when she finally became CEO in 2014, she wasn't a finance guy or a marketing person parachuting in to run a car company. She understood the factory floor, the design process, the supply chain, and the people, because she had actually done those jobs herself. A real-world example. When GM faced its massive ignition switch recall crisis right as Barra took over as CEO, a scandal linked to over 100 deaths, she didn't hide behind lawyers or PR teams. She personally testified in front of Congress, took accountability publicly, and overhauled GM's safety culture from the inside, because she understood the engineering behind the failure. Compare that to leaders who are handed a company they don't fully understand and end up making decisions from a spreadsheet instead of from real experience. Barra's decades of hands-on knowledge is exactly why the board trusted her with the keys to the entire company. The lesson here: don't just aim for the top spot. Aim to deeply understand every level underneath it first. Bet big on the future, even when it's uncomfortable. This is where Mary Barra's story becomes truly motivational. When she took over as CEO, gas-powered cars were still king, and GM was making billions from trucks and SUVs. But Barra made a bold, controversial call. She pushed GM to go all in on electric vehicles, setting a public goal for an all-electric future and pouring billions of dollars into EV and battery plants across the United States. That's a massive risk. Reinventing a 100-year-old gas-powered empire while it's still profitable takes serious guts. Critics doubted her. Wall Street questioned the spending. But Barra kept pushing GM's transition forward, launching electric models like the Chevrolet Bolt and expanding the Ultium battery platform to power a whole new generation of vehicles. Think of it like Netflix killing its own DVD business to bet everything on streaming, a decision that looked risky at the time but defined the company's future. Barra made a similar bet: sacrifice short-term comfort for long-term relevance. That's the third lesson. Real leaders don't protect what's comfortable. They protect what's next. So let's bring it all together. Mary Barra's empire wasn't built overnight, and it definitely wasn't handed to her. She started at the bottom, on a factory floor, for $2 an hour. She mastered every corner of her industry before she ever asked to lead it. And when it was time to make the hardest decision of her career, she chose the future over her comfort zone. That's not luck. That's a blueprint. And here's the truth: you don't need to be born into privilege to build an empire. You need patience, you need to actually learn your craft from the inside out, and you need the courage to bet on where things are going, not just where they've been. If Mary Barra's journey inspired you even a little bit, hit that subscribe button right now, because next week we're breaking down another self-made empire that started with almost nothing. Drop a comment below. Which lesson hit you the hardest, starting small, mastering your craft, or betting on the future? And if you know someone who needs to hear this story today, share this video with them. I'll see you in the next one.